Okay, guys, I'm back with a little tutorial on how to make your tiny planet look really perfect. So what I'm going to do in this one is I decided I'm going to go for the jungle. So I'm going to go ahead and drag the jungle into a 10 by 10 by 300. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and move it so that it fits and squishes into this 10 by 10 and hit the check mark. And now I have an image that looks like this. It's a little strange, but you go to Edit, Transform, and you want to go ahead and flip it 180 degrees. So rotate it 180 degrees, it turns upside down. And here's the really fun part. You go to the filter, and then you're going to go to Distort and Polar Coordinates. And you want to go, there's two choices, rectangle to polar or polar to rectangle. We want to go rectangle to polar. So I'm going to press OK. Now I've got all this kind of visual noise going on around it. So how can I fix that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is pick on the second tool down. I'm going to go to the ellipse select, and I'm going to go to the upper left-hand corner here and put my finger on the shift key and drag the selection so that it makes a perfect circle and let it go. All right, I have it feathered at 49. And what I'm going to do now is go to inverse my selection. Oh, I forgot to rasterize. Mrs. Chessel's bad at rasterizing. And let's see what happens if I hit delete. All right, that's really perfect. I'm going to hit delete a couple of times because I want the edges to be fuzzy. So I cleaned up that edge. So now what I'm going to do is go to select and deselect, and I think I'm going to fix a little bit of this. There's a line in here. So what I will do is take the cloning tool and go ahead and press Alt and drag some of the images to make it look smoother, and especially here in the palm trees. Let's do that too. Let's make it, there we go, a little more foliage there, and I really like that. So I think what I'm now going to do is maybe drag T-Rex here on top of it because it looks like it's a Jurassic World. So we'll go ahead and drag him there and make him a little bit bigger. Oops. Let's put my finger on the shift key. Forget that. Edit, undo. All right. Edit, transform, scale. Keep my finger on the shift key, make him really big. Go ahead and check. And again, to get rid of that background, first I have to rasterize the layer. Then I'm going to use that magic wand. You can use a magic eraser on Photoshop. In Photopea, we're going to be using the magic wand. And you see here what's happening is because my tolerance is only at 16, it just is going to eliminate some of the T-Rex, but not some of the shadows and things like that. So let's go ahead and see if we can manage that. Okay, select and deselect. We're going to go ahead and use that magic wand again. And here. And I'm going to leave that little shadow. I kind of like that. We can always erase out some of that stuff. All right, I like this guy right now. Okay, again, if you hit delete a few times, it'll try to, sometimes you can get rid of that white line around the T-Rex by doing that. It depends really on your tolerance. So let's try that. We're going to change our tolerance to, let's try 32 and see what happens. All right, I'm doing the best here that I can. And again, I'm going to get rid of those artifacts. I'm not sure if you could see them, but there's like a line there. So I just used my rectangular marquee and pulled it down on the T-Rex layer to get rid of those lines. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same thing that I did with King Kong. I'm actually going to go on this layer and I'm going to edit, transform. I'm going to play with the perspective. And I'm going to make the perspective smaller here and bigger there. So T-Rex looks like he's coming right at you, like his feet are touching the globe. And I'm going to press the check mark. And I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. Edit, transform, scale. Okay, so there's Mr. T-Rex, and you could do something where you could clone out the bottom. Maybe you want to use that cloud brush again, so let's try that. I'm going to go to the clouds all the way at the bottom that I previously loaded, and I'm going to use this one here and make it fairly big. And the opacity, let's make it a little bit less and see what we could start doing as far as the clouds go. And that kind of meshes it out. Now you can add clouds here and here, whatever you want. You can add some all over the place. Now I might even want to further enhance this by putting a pterodactyl in there. So I have those guys loaded in there. You might want to have them flying out of this circle. But if you're really into cleaning up the edges here, I just showed you how to do that by using the circular marquee and feathering your selection, inversing it and hitting it a few times so that you have a perfect circle. And I think this looks pretty good. I might use a different T-Rex. I might use some other types of things here. So again, if you can download things from Vecteezy that you might want to use in your planet, that is fine too. All right, I'll see you guys on Friday.